Hi, we're Jon and Stacey Cotton, and we're talking about joy today, which is the next part in the Advent series. And we both felt that we should talk about the joy in the Lord being our strength. And I used to hear a quote or reference of life is full of ups and downs with a few normal bits in between. And in those down times, there's many things and ways that people look to for their joy and strength, but we've always found that the joy in the Lord is gives us real strength in those times of need. In Nehemiah 8:10, it says, "The joy of the Lord is your strength." And also in Psalms, you see many examples of people seeking joy from the presence of God, and also seeking in peace in times of need. And we're also talking about how joy and peace often come hand in hand. And many examples in the Bible of people seeking peace in situations from God. And just knowing that God is on their side when people are seeking God, and that bringing joy into their situation, into their lives. In Psalm 30:11, it says, "You turn my wailing into dancing. You removed my sackcloth and clothed me with joy." And I love that verse. What a contrast that is, and what a picture it is, turn my wailing into dancing, from a time of real need and desperation into time of real rejoicing. It's pretty amazing. Also, you remove my sackcloth, which is often what people used to wear when they were in real despair and seeking God, being then clothed in joy. And that's an amazing to think, what it'd be like, all the time if we were clothed in joy, and how great that would be if we were all walking around clothed in joy, and how that would look to others as, great thing for people to see that that's what we can have from God. Also.
And those who are members of Together Church will know how I love fashion, but you will never ever see me donning a sackcloth, but there might have been times you've seen me in despair. That's why we love that verse, is you turn my wailing into dancing, you remove my sackcloth and clothe me with joy. There was a time a couple of years ago, Jon and I were going through a really tough time, circumstantial, and I was just really, really floored by it. Just like staying in bed and just really, really down. And we had tickets to go to a worship event. I was like, I'm not going. I couldn't find the joy in the Lord. I couldn't find the joy in church. I couldn't really find the joy in much at all at that time. And Jon put his foot down and said, no, we really need to go. You might enjoy it when you're there, and da-da-da. And actually, when we were there, God did the miraculous. He'd already started a conversation with me about wallowing in my despair. And he taught me what it was to be joyful through my despair. That didn't take away the despair, but it taught me to find joy in that, and the joy came from knowing God. And it didn't happen just because we was at this big event. It happened because God was there and he spoke to me, and it wasn't just like a one night thing. It changed my relationship and my outlook, and it became relational, so that I don't just see a situation now and be like, oh, it's hopeless. Though sometimes it feels hopeless, there is hope in the Lord. And that brings me joy. And I think about Paul in prison. We found lockdown hard when it was proper lockdown. He's in prison, writing to the churches, telling them to rejoice. He's singing. He's talking to the guards about God. He is joyful. He's just a really joyful fella. And his joy is remarkable. But it can be hard to persevere in joy. It's a choice sometimes to find the joy. I could have stayed in bed for weeks, but Jon told me first, and then God told me, get up, find some joy in me. So James 1:2-3 says, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance." So being able to persevere in joy through the ups and downs is to draw strength from God. It's to know that you're not alone, that He is with you, He is supporting you, He is fighting for you and fighting with you throughout whatever your circumstance. And that is a reason to be joyful.
Yeah, and Jesus is a perfect example to us for this, you know. He persevered and had that joy he was seeking, you know, in you know what he came here for, and you know he wanted that joy.
I love the song by Rend Collective, "The Joy of the Lord is My Strength." It just sings about rejoicing through the pain and the dark times, because the joy of the Lord is my strength. So I'd encourage you to just have a listen to that song and choose to be joyful. Have a little Merry Christmas dance.
Yeah, I hope you guys have loads of joy this Christmas, and yeah, let's not forget to give plenty of thanks to God.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.